Well, we saw a Girona who was actually fighting to this in the relegation areas in the table come out and beat Real Madrid 4-2, and we saw a Real Madrid very disconnected today. So let's begin the show so we can talk a little bit and see a little bit of highlights about what went on today. Let's give it a start. Muy buena mi gente, aquí nos encontramos nuevamente en otro programa de fútbol con Bambam.
Dentro del área, golpea Petit, Zidane y gol. Ha marcado Zidane el 1-0 para Francia.
Welcome everybody, and here we go. This is actually Fútbol con Bambam, and I wanted to thank you guys, all of you guys, for continuing to be on this show. And yes, unfortunately, Real Madrid was not able to win another game in league, and a league that we know already that Barcelona had 11 points and remains with 11 points. But if they win tomorrow, they will actually put the league almost unreachable. Barcelona is only 2 wins away from assuring and lifting up his crown in La Liga. So this is not great news for Real Madrid. However, it's wonderful news for Barcelona fans, and congratulations to every Barcelona fan in order that they're enjoying this last part of the phase of the league. But let's talk a little bit about today, because today was very interesting, and it is that we saw that a Girona received a Real Madrid who actually came inside and almost started the starting 11 with almost all the normal starters for the games that has been using, which is surprising because you would think that Carlo Ancelotti, knowing that the opportunities or the options to win the league, it's very, very extremely slim. However, what we could talk about today is that Carlo Ancelotti comes inside, and obviously he lost a couple key players like Courtois. He lost him to a stomach ache. He lost David Alaba due to the last Champions League game. He had still suffered a little bit of muscle injury, so therefore he was not being able to participate right now. He will be back, though, according to Carlo Ancelotti. He will be back for the final of the Cup of King versus Osasuna, which is next week. And we will see that you don't count with Dani Ceballos, which actually is suspended due to accumulations of cards. Karim Benzema was absent today also from the game because of safety precautions that they're using with him, with muscle aches a little bit on there. Eden Hazard also yesterday got dropped from the squad due to another injury also that he's exhibiting. And then, of course, Felan Mendy has an injury, which we don't know. He might come back by the end of the year. He might not have been able to play for the remainder of the year. So we will have that said. However, Real Madrid was able to start today with another goalkeeper, which is Adrian Lunin. And then the defense was almost similar to what Real Madrid has been presenting. Dani Carvajal, Eder Militao, and then Antonio Rudiger took the position for David Alaba. And then Nacho Fernandez came inside, where Eduardo Camavinga has been in the left defensive back position. Well, now is Nacho Fernandez for the game of today. The center, they stayed the same, which is Fede Valverde, Toni Kroos, and Luka Modric. And then in the forward, he started with Asensio on the right-hand side as a striker, and then Rodrigo took the number 9 position, and then Vinicius Juniors as the number 7 position on the left-hand side for striker. So there you go. The game started, and I wanted to show you guys a little bit of the highlights about what went on in the game. I will talk in the background. I tried to actually put down and reduce the volume from the original recording, just for copyright and license permissions and copyright permissions in here. However, I did leave the logo from the company that made the video. I did a small edits on the videos to be able to show you guys a little bit about the highlights, and I will show you how the game, briefly, how the game actually showed during the day today. And let's give it a start, because Real Madrid for the first 30 minutes was actually having a little bit of comfort. They were looking pretty strong, and this, you saw it in the beginning of the game. The first 20 seconds of the game, you saw Real Madrid moving the ball, and you saw where Vinicius Jr. gives the ball to Luka Modric. Luka Modric winning and trying to do the center of the game. And when he actually is able to center the ball, Rodrigo Goes tried to put it with his back heel inside and was not successful on this. Then you see on the minute 5th that you see Luka Modric again comes around and Fede Valverde takes a shot to the goal and almost been able to cause a mistake from the goalkeeper. However, this is the first goal that you're going to see Girona, where we saw Militao actually miss the capability of intercepting that ball. And then Rudiger been able to not avoid the offside in back there. However, Militao stay walking. If you notice him in here, you'll see him that he's walking, he's not paying attention, and forces Nacho to be able to be with 2 defenders in the back and was incapable to stop the striker, Argentinian Callejon. So therefore, this is one of the first goals that Girona does. The second goal started by a corner, by a throw-in, where immediately gets thrown back, and the guy who throws in the ball notices that the Real Madrid squad defender is right in midfield. So what do? Try to win the back by long ball, knowing that the striker from Girona is very quick. However, Militao was able to come back and recover and close a little bit the gap, but Lunin also, being a mobile goalkeeper that he is, was off cycle and was not able to stop the ball, and the ball went right through his legs. And then we go with the first goal from Real Madrid, because after Real Madrid received 2 goals, in minute 33, Asensio comes with his nice left foot, give it, and Vinicius close it with a header through the first pole. But one of the interesting part of this play is that you're going to see that Rodrigo is offside, but then Vinicius also is outside, but then he does a small jump to the back, causing the defender to be able to put him in the onside position, and Vinicius shows more maturity and been able to cover and finish the tracks on this strike. But then we see the second half starts. Nacho does a mistake, allowing the runner of the side goes inside, was able to center the ball, win all the back of Real Madrid players. You see Fede Valverde try to throw the legs. However, we see Militao once again lost in position and loses his mark, and Carvajal tries to cover for him, was unable to get there on time, and then the goal comes inside. This is one of the goals that I think actually Lunin had no choice, because he's bad step, but he's not in position. And then of course Militao causes a corner kick. This corner kick results that is going to be a nice center, and then Militao loses focus of where he is and doesn't jump for the ball, and Castellón actually makes him pay him. And this is the poker, the 4th goal for this player in the game. Makes it very interesting that Real Madrid was so bad in the defense at this moment. However, Carlo Ancelotti makes some changes, brings inside Mariano Diaz for Rodrigo and Lucas Vázquez for Carvajal. We see how Mariano goes forward with the ball. When he gets it locked up with them, Vinicius comes to help. Vinicius does a master going through the line, not allowing the ball to go outside, passes it back in between 3 defenders of Girona, and Lucas Vázquez just taps it right in and gives the second goal to Real Madrid. However, Real Madrid loses this game 4-2, and this is a big, I won't say a disappointing game for Real Madrid because they lost. It's how they lose. And the reason why I say how they lose is because several reasons. One of the main reasons why I'm a little disappointed about watching this Real Madrid play today is that I knew Real Madrid has not been, I don't want to say, he doesn't come in with 100% inside. He still wants to win, don't take me wrong, but he might not want to do the full effort or do the extra strength to go inside and been able to capitalize on the part of the game. However, this was looking good in the first 30 minutes, even though they were losing 2-0. They could have been up in the first 15 minutes before the first goal comes inside. They could have been up 3-0 in this game. If the game would have started with some of these attacks from Real Madrid going inside, maybe the game is different. Maybe the confidence is different. Maybe it's a nice blowout from Real Madrid. Could have, should have, never happened. However, what we can see from this game is Girona, once they do that first and second score, the mentality changed completely. However, Real Madrid covers back, doesn't easily go, coming right back, and the momentum kind of seems like, yeah, we finished the first half attacking, we're looking good, we're not that bad. And then the first minute of the second half, bam, comes the third goal. Bad strategy. Right now, horrible day for our defense, especially for Militao. We've never seen Militao struggle as much as he struggled today in the game. It was a complete disaster in the back of the game. Midfield of Real Madrid, existent. We saw Toni Kroos walking the court. Luka Modric not being on his A game, except for the beginning of the game, when he started the first 15 minutes, shining, touching, being assisted. But then after that, he just disappeared from the court, was very mellow in the game. Fede Valverde was not doing enough that what we see Fede Valverde. He was not applying speed when he would grab the ball. He will miss some of the passes. He would not been able to allow the team to create that extra energy that he usually imposes on the team. What we did see was how uncomfortable is Rodrigo Goes as a number 9. He does not feel comfortable at all. And I think the big mistake at this point is Ancelotti should have actually tried to rotate between Asensio and Rodrigo at this point, or Ancelotti should have brought Mariano Diaz since the beginning of the game, because Mariano's a number 9. Or bring the Canterano, the guy from Castilla, who's been scoring for Real Madrid when he comes inside, and brings him inside and be able to do some magic in here. I would think that Real Madrid would have started a little bit more with some of the replacements, or some of the players that less minutes to have participate, and be able to give at least a half to the starting, just to keep them in rhythm, because they have 2 commitments with the final of the Cup and then the Champions League. However, one of the things that I did notice today is how tired the Real Madrid squad looked today. They looked tired. They actually was not in a good day. And then Ancelotti said it at the end. Ancelotti said at the end, this is not my team. This is not the team that I saw 7 games ago. This is not the team that has been winning and coming back up. We need to evolve. We need to get better. And I'm taking this as a bad day. I'm hoping that it never happens again. And hopefully that's true. The Real Madrid is noticed to always have a huge bad day. And we usually see it against Barcelona, where last year you saw 4-0 Barcelona beating in Bernabeu Real Madrid. Well, guess what? This year you see 4-2 a Girona, who is supposed to be a relegated team, coming inside and being able to manhandle you on the second half and take over and win a game, and not made it so fun for you. So one of the questions that a reporter did to Ancelotti said, do you think this might be a motivation because of the coming up? You always have like a loss like this, and some way the guys get motivated by a big loss like this and change their whole chip. Do you think this is it? And Ancelotti said, hey, maybe. I think we'll come back and be able to focus. But everybody, as a Real Madrid fan, and everybody knows that we still have 2 big appointments to get to. And that's going to be the final against Osasuna of the Cup of King for a championship. And then we're going on the semifinals of Champions League. So Ancelotti is making sure that he's letting clear that the priorities of Real Madrid are those 2 tournaments right now. And a loss today, even though he doesn't like it, it's not hurtful for him, because he knows that he's still going to make classification in the top 4 of La Liga. And at this moment, he knows it's impossible to catch up to Barcelona. So therefore, it's not too bad to lose. It's how we lost. That's the thing that I think is the worst. And it's probably an indicative about what's happening to our players. Maybe physically, they need a little bit more rest. Maybe they need, to come inside and fall in rhythm. Something's going to happen. But Pinto's going to have to figure it out with Ancelotti, and that's going to be very interesting to find out. However, let's do a smaller analysis about what we saw today. And whoever knows a little bit about Mitchell is actually a Madrid background, but he's the coach of Girona. But he's part of the school of Guardiola. He's part of the link a little bit with what Manchester City does right now in the current game. So one thing that worries me a little bit today is that if you saw today the formation of Girona, they have 5 attackers in the front. That's something that Guardiola uses a lot in Manchester City. He tends to do 5 offensive players besides Haaland. He does 5 offensive players in there, try to take over that midfield. And today, Girona was very successful to do that versus Real Madrid. However, I'm not saying this is going to happen against Man City, but this could be the blueprint for Carlo Ancelotti to go back and study and say, if I would have done these changes, it might have stopped this bleeding from here. And that might be the chess match that he needed to be able to figure out a little bit of how he will approach Guardiola when they come with Manchester City. Now, keeping in mind, if Real Madrid against Manchester City plays like they play with Girona today, believe me, or believe that, Erling Haaland's going to have a field day. Erling Haaland will break those backs and being able to outscore Real Madrid. And right now, one thing that is very impressive about this young Argentinian that won today and score a poker on Real Madrid is that there's only been one player besides today that has ever scored a poker of Real Madrid, and that's Robert Lewandowski when he played for Borussia Dortmund for Jurgen Klopp. If you remember that match, it was the away game in Germany. He scores 4 goals against Real Madrid, and then Real Madrid comes back and almost does a comeback, scoring 3 goals, and that 4th goal stayed right there in the limit where he was not capable of doing it, and then Real Madrid got eliminated from Champions League. However, today, what Castillejo did today is actually phenomenal. He comes to the history books, and the history books of Real Madrid, because, you know, he's the latest guy who's been able to score 4 goals, and is a short list of the players who've been able to do that achievement. But then also for Girona, he does something that they never expected. He brought them to victory. He relieves them from the possibility of relegating, because now they only need 1 game to be able to assure their positions, and they're based on their schedule. They could do it. They could be able to save themselves. They actually beat Real Madrid, so this should be an extra motivation for them to be able to approach the next coming games in there. So this might be something humongous that this player did for his club. And I'm not here to say that this is bad. I'm just saying this is phenomenal. Congratulations. Girona played a phenomenal job, and Real Madrid was simply disconnected today. And the Real Madrid that we saw today playing is not the Real Madrid that we've been seeing playing right now. Definitely is not the Real Madrid who came back from against Liverpool, who beat 4-0 Chelsea, and was able to beat 4-0 also for Barcelona. But then again, this is a Madrid who doesn't have David Alaba, Courtois, and Karim Benzema, which are three humongous key players in here. So I hope you liked and enjoyed this show. I hope you continue. Hit that like button. Give me your comment. What do you think? And share this video. And I'll see you guys on to the next one. Ciao.